everyone, my name is Karla and you have reached my FlossTube channel, KarlaBeingCrafty, where I talk about mostly cross stitch, but also other crafts that I am working on or have worked on in the past, and a little bit of life thrown in. Today is my 33rd FlossTube episode. It is Sunday, February 23rd, and I am back after missing last week because I was really sick. And I have to say thank you so much to all of the people who kind of noticed that I hadn't uploaded anything and sent me messages on Instagram and here on FlossTube. Thank you, Dawn, for checking in on me, and Denise for giving me a little bit of, advice. I'm really sorry that I missed you guys. I was just, you have to believe me, I was just really too sick to even lift my head off my pillow. I had the food poisoning or flu or some kind of stomach something. It started in the middle of the night, between Saturday and Sunday, so I guess that's Sunday morning actually. And it didn't stop until midday. And I was running about 102 temperature, and yeah, so everything broke and was done by, Sunday night, but it just kicked me to the curb. I took Monday off work, and I went back to work on Tuesday, but I have spent the whole week exhausted. It just really knocked a lot out of me besides, what was actually in me. It just knocked me to the curb. And so I was sorry to have to miss my regular filming day, but it couldn't be helped. So today I actually have updates for 2 weeks, but because I was so sick, I didn't do a lot of stuff this week. So anyway, I have a bunch of stuff to talk to you about and catch you up with, and so I'm really glad to have you here. So welcome to anybody who's finding this my channel for the first time. I hope that you enjoy it and enjoy spending a little bit of time with me talking about the cross stitch, etc. And so welcome. And if you are a returning viewer, well, thank you so much for coming. Welcome back. If you have not already subscribed, please do that. My channel is climbing up the ranks there. I'm around 850. Trying to get to that 1,000 so I can, I don't know, that's like that magic number. You can monetize. I probably will monetize. You guys all know who see me that money's tight for me, so even if I only get an extra $5 or $10 a month from monetizing and putting a commercial at the beginning of my video, that will help me out. So so I'm really looking forward to getting up to that 1,000 number and moving forward with my channel. Those of you who've been watching me for a while know I also have the idea for opening an Etsy shop in the works, and it is still in the works. Obviously, I didn't get really very much done on it in the last 2 weeks, and it's going to be put on hold for another couple weeks, which I will tell you about in a minute. Well, let me tell you now. So those of you that have been watching me for a while know that about a month ago, I guess it was, I had to kind of tear my apartment apart. I had to take everything out of the kitchen, everything out of the bathroom, because they were going to do a treatment for lovely California roaches. I do live in an apartment complex in California. Bugs can be an issue. My apartment complex, to their credit, is proactive to try and take care of that kind of thing. And they came in and they did a treatment. Which was, necessary, but a huge chore for me because of everything that had to be pulled out. And the other issue is that I do live in a studio, so it's not just the pulling stuff out, but where do you put it? Well, it has to be out of the kitchen and bathroom. There isn't any place. It's all in the middle of my living room, piled up, and in my tiny little dining table that already has all of my sewing stuff on it. So they came back last week to do like a follow-up treatment, which, you don't have to get out of the house for that, but the guy said that he did still see activity and they have to come back and do a full treatment again. So I have to pull everything apart again. I talked to one of the apartment managers when she called to tell me that news, and I said, okay, you have to give me a little bit of extra time. She was like, can we do it this Thursday? And I'm like, no, because I talked to her, it was Friday. I'm like, no, I need more than a couple days notice. So they're going to do it on the 5th. So I have today, which I'll be honest, I'm probably not going to do a bunch of stuff today, but I have the week and then the weekend and then the half week. So I have a lot more time than I did last time. Last time I got the notice of it like on Sunday or Saturday late afternoon, and they were doing it that following Thursday. So this time I don't think I'll have to take an extra day off of work. I'll just have to take the day off where it's happening, because of course I have to take my cat out of the apartment while the treatment's going on. So because my apartment is going to kind of be in chaos for the next couple weeks, I'm not gonna be able to like do anything to move forward with opening the Etsy shop, except, you know, I can continue to create some more of my pieces, but it's gonna push stuff back a little bit, which is fine. I mean, I'm not on any kind of deadline. It's just my own personal desire to get things going. And as you know, as time goes on, I'm getting better and better at creating the resin things. I'll show you a few as we get further on in the video. But anyway, so that's what's happening in the next couple weeks. So let's see, news of, oh, Valentine's Day. Obviously, I missed telling you about my Valentines and the day before Valentine's. So Thursday, my boyfriend, the TV, decided to die. I was actually stitching, and you know how it is when you're stitching and you're listening and you glance up and you know, so you're not really watching TV, you're just kind of have it on. So I was watching, I looked up, it was fine, I'm stitching, I look up and it's black. The noise was still going, but it was black. So I futzed around with it for a while, and nope, it was dead. Dead. And the thing is, I mean, I'm not proud of this, but I live alone. I have the TV on pretty much all the time that I'm in my apartment. Even if I go in and take a shower, I leave the TV on. Even, you know, when I'm in the kitchen, can't see the TV, I have the TV on. And I think it's a not being alone kind of thing. I don't mind living alone. I don't feel lonely. But the two things that are necessary when I live alone is I have to have a living creature with me. So I've got Bagheera, my kitty, and I need that TV. The TV is what keeps me feeling like I'm not alone. And so when it died on Thursday, there was no thought of not getting another one. I needed to have another one. But looking, you know, the silver lining or whatever, it did die President's Weekend. So there's all kinds of sales. So Saturday, I headed out to Best Buy and I got a TV. What was interesting, the TV that I had before was a 38-inch TV. It was a leftover from my marriage that my husband had bought when the TV that we had in our living room died. And so it was big, and it, you know, it fit on the top of my dresser. You can kind of see it just right there. It's on top of my dresser. So I had the idea that I would just either get the same kind or smaller. Now 38 apparently was like this weird size that they don't really make anymore. They had one in, well, it wasn't even in stock, which was the same brand. And yeah, so I don't know how we ended up with that one, but standard is 32 or 40. So I thought, oh, it'll be no problem. I'll just go down to the 32. What was funny is that the bigger TV was actually less expensive, because I guess the components in the smaller ones are more expensive. I don't know. So I ended up getting actually 42-inch because it was the one that was the least expensive. I did not have to get a smart TV because I have a Fire Stick, so I didn't need that to be already in the TV because I am plugging it in anyway. So I ended up getting a slightly larger TV. Just fits in the space. I mean, if I had gotten anything bigger, I wouldn't have been able to actually even put it up where it is, because it just wouldn't have the room to put the feet on it. So I was really worried about getting it up the stairs. It's not at all heavy. I don't know if you've purchased a TV recently. I mean, the box is like maybe 15-20 pounds, so it's not heavy, but it's like this huge big thing. So I asked them in the store if they could kind of like make a handle, like they wrapped tape around it so that there was a handle, because I was like, I need to be able to carry it with one hand up the stairs while holding onto the rail, because I am, you know, my balance now is crappy going up and down stairs. But it turned out I ended up not even having to carry it up the stairs, because there was a guy when I got here who was looking at, you know, collecting bottles and cans, which people do in our area. And I separate out my bottles and cans, and I always have them up here. And I have never personally actually taken them to the recycling center, because I always end up giving them to somebody who's collecting them anyway. But I asked, since I saw him, I asked if he was collecting, and I said, I have a bag upstairs if you want to, you know, wait a second. And he was like, oh, sure, thank you. And then, you know, I said, I just have to take this upstairs. And he's like, do you want me to carry that for you? And I was like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, of course, you know. And so he actually carried it up the stairs for me, which was really nice. He was very respectful. He set it down in front of my door and then like backed off, so I didn't like feel like he was gonna invade my space or anything like that, which, you know, is something you think about when you're a single female. So I went inside, I got the thing inside, and then I brought him out, you know, actually 2 big bags of bottles and cans. So it was a mutually beneficial thing, and I didn't have to carry the thing up my stairs. So I did have to put the feet on, which doesn't sound like a big deal. I mean, I know how to screw a screw in, but when you're trying to put a black screw to hook 2 black pieces of plastic together, it was a chore. It was a moment where some swear words were said. It was, yeah, fun. But anyway, I did get that all set up on last Saturday, and have a new nice TV now. So that was one thing that happened. Friday night was Valentine's Day last week, and I had been invited to go over to my brother and sister-in-law's. They're so sweet about that. And, you know, they have 3 young children, so for them, Valentine's is a family love sort of evening, not a romantic love sort of evening, so they had no problem including me. Their anniversary was actually the 11th, and they had planned to go out and have a romantic evening on the 11th, and it got canceled because one of the kids was really sick, so they're actually going to do that next week. I think they're going to have a do-over. But they did invite me over for Valentine's. My sister-in-law was having a craving for like crab legs and lobster, which I've never really had lobster, so that was kind of cool. My brother had gone to the grocery store and got 3 little lobster tails, and he cooked them. My brother's the chef in their family, and so that was wonderful. Spend time with my niece and nephews and my brother and sister-in-law. So we had a great meal and visited, and then they had told me when I got home there would be something waiting for me, that the kids had ordered me something and had it sent to my house for Valentine's. And so when I got home, there was, you know, 2 boxes there, and this is what I got. They got me this mug, which is like, oh, that's so sweet. And the 5-year-old, I guess the 2 older ones picked out the mug, but the 5-year-old was like, you can't get her a mug and not have something to put in it. So they also ordered me these hot chocolate spoons. So I'm looking forward to trying these. And I was going to do it last week, and then I got sick, and I also thought, well, I don't want to use them until I get to show them. So, and then I also got 2 cards. Logan did that one for me. It says HVD all over it, and I was like, what? Like, that sounds like some kind of disease, but it's Happy Valentine's Day. And then I got this one too. Oops. And I'm ripping it. Oh, this is the one from Hudson. So, and he drew pictures and made hearts. So, these are special. So that was my Valentine's Day, and then Saturday I got the TV. Saturday night I got sick, and that was that. So this week is pretty much a normal week. I had jury duty. I ended up with a call-in jury, so I had to call in every day at noon. I've never had to do that before. I never had to go in. So I completed my jury duty by calling in every day. And then last night, I went over to my brother's again. We played D&D all afternoon, and then we went out to dinner for Logan's birthday. His birthday was about 3 weeks ago, and we were supposed to go out then, and it got canceled because people were sick. And we were supposed to meet yesterday and go out to lunch with my mom. And she found out Friday, my mom has been approved to get an upper plate, which is very good news, but the dentist showed up yesterday. They actually do, you have to get your teeth extracted, the ones that are still there, if you're going to get a full plate. And she had an appointment with the dentist like a couple weeks ago, and they said that they were actually going to do anything that needed to be done in her room. Well, the dentist showed up yesterday, or not yesterday, Friday, to do the teeth extraction. So obviously she couldn't go out yesterday. So the lunch with mom or grandma got postponed, but I still went over to my brother's, and we ended up going out to Tapon for Logan's birthday because that was what he was wanting so badly. So we went out to a Tapon, which was so fun and very yummy. And I feel like I ate just 3 bites, and then I have a big thing of food to heat up today. But anyway, so I had a really nice day yesterday with my family, and that brings us to today. So that's my 2 weeks, and I'm 16 minutes and I haven't showed you a single piece of cross stitch. But anyway, so that's where we are. I did not have any new starts this week or any finishes or these past 2 weeks. And I did get some work done, so let's get into that, and I can show you all my whips. So as you guys know, I've been working on, I started New Year's Eve, this Heaven and Earth Designs, the Village Bookstore, and I've had a mini saga with that as far as figuring out how to work on it, and I got the huge frame. So I worked on this, and I actually took it off the stand, and I just was working on it almost like you'd work on it with the scroll frame, just kind of on my lap. This would be ideal if it was this part was cut off, because the whole thing is I wanted it to be long enough to do the whole fabric. But anyway, so that, oh gosh, can you guys even see it? It was raining here yesterday, so our lighting is not that great. Anyway, so you can see I did this much of the next diagonal on that. And this I'm doing on 25 count, using 2 over 1/10 stitch. I'm really liking the way it's coming out. I think the 10 stitch looks fine. And it's going a little bit faster than it would if I was doing the full cross. I don't think that I would do 10 stitch for anything except something huge like that. But for that project, which is, years long project, it's making me happy to do the 10 stitch. So I'm happy with the way that's turning out. I also worked on one of my Heaven and Earth Design quick stitch projects. This one is Kreinik Mfg by Nadia Tate. And I have to say, and I've said this before, I love working on the quick stitches just because they're just a more realistic project for me. It's hard for me to look at a project and think it's going to take 10 years. Because, I don't know, when I'm working on something, I do want to see an end in sight. Oops, got it backwards here, upside down. Okay, so I started another diagonal. This one is being worked at from the bottom up. Okay. So you can see that diagonal. I'm really getting into the pinks now. of her pajamas. And I realized that actually I'm done with the green until I get back into this corner here. Now, the entire project is going to fit on this frame. So it only is going to go to about right here. Again, quick stitch, it's smaller. But as you can see from all these parked threads, it's a full confetti piece. So, but I think this one is turning out really nice. This one is actually on 16 count. And I did it on a colored fabric because I'm not stitching the background. So I had to grid it myself. And the fabric that I found was 16 count. So I currently have 3 Heaven Earth designs going, and I have one on 25 count, one on 18 count, and one on 16 count. And so they're all slightly different experiences, which is fun for me. Did I put that back in here? Okay. I'm getting myself confused, you guys. Okay. Let's see, what else did I work on? I worked on my classic Winnie the Pooh project just a little bit. I was like not feeling great, but I felt like stitching, so I decided to do a little bit of the black on this. And because kind of my idea with this one is, you know, kind of alternate between doing the black and doing the color, but once I get the black finished, then the rest is just going to be fill in. So I worked on the Pooh Bear, and I got a lot more done on him. And this is kind of it's a weird project. It doesn't look like much, and I don't think it's gonna look like much until it's done. But this one is sort of being done in honor of my dad, and I've explained the whole Winnie the Pooh story a couple times, so go back and you can find out why this project is so meaningful to me. Okay, and I actually worked on what I'm calling my purse project a little bit this week. I took it yesterday and I worked on it while I was playing games with the kids. And so this is a Mill Hill, one of the buttons and beads projects. Pomegranates. And first of all, I love pomegranates. Second of all, they make me think of fall. Pomegranates and figs really make me think of fall more than apples, more than, those kinds of things, because apples are around all the time. I mean, I know the fall is like apple picking season, but that's not really something I ever really did. And I don't love apples. I don't hate them, but I don't love them. I do love pomegranates and I do love figs, and they're only available in the fall. So those are the fruits that really make me feel like fall's here. So, you won't be able to see that at all, are you? Now, I have some mistake over here, and I don't know what it is, and I don't really care. I'm just going to work around it. Because there's no mistake here. It's something with the background, and this background isn't even anyway, so I'm not too fussed about it. As long as the actual pomegranate part isn't messed up, then I'm not going to worry about it too much. But I really enjoy doing the Mill Hill kits on the perforated paper. I think it's fun. I like the beading. I will say, for all of you people, I watch FlossTube and people are like, I've never beaded and I'm scared to bead. Don't be scared to bead. It's just really not a big deal. You're making a regular stitch, you just pick up a bead in the middle of it. When I bead, because I used to do a lot of jewelry making and stuff, so I'm used to working with beads anyway, but Mill Hill, they come and they're all like 3 or 4 colors are in a baggie. And for me, I separate them. You don't have to, but I do. And then because I have a ton of diamond painting trays lying around, when I go to bead, I'll pour some in the diamond painting tray, and that's how I pick them up. You don't have to use a diamond painting tray. I just suggest you use a little something where they can spread out a little bit so you can get your needle in there, but that has a lip so that they're not going to slide everywhere and go everywhere. And then you do want to just be careful that you don't flip it, because then you're going to have beads everywhere, which I've done with beads, with diamond drills, you know, so it happens. They do have sticky things. That's never appealed to me. I think if I got a sticky thing like that, it would immediately be covered with cat hair and whatever. But if you do want to get a sticky thing to put your beads on, you know, you can get those sticky pads. You can get them on Amazon that are then washable. That might be better than the tray thing, and then you can put it inside a little Altoids tin or something. I would, if you're gonna spend money to get a sticky thing for beading, I would get something like that you can then wash all the hair and dust off, because you know, when you're working with threads, and you're gonna end up with stuff all over that sticky pad, I think. Okay, 2 more whips that I worked on this week. I worked 2 weeks. I worked on Suffrage Act. This is in a sow with Stitching with the Sisterlies, and then also Erin Two Martini Stitcher is doing it, and I think Michelle Bendy Stitchy is supposed to be doing it. I don't know if they've started theirs yet, but I did work on that. And so let's see. I don't know what I showed you last time. I worked on the words a little bit. I got all of the bricks done. The whole column is done. So all the green, gold, and red in the column is completed. I started a little bit here. That was just because I had thread that was, you know, there. And I started with the green. I did change the color of her hair. I mentioned that to you guys before, because it was just the hair and the skin colors that I picked, because I'm not using called for. I'm just using things that are similar, that work. But the hair and the skin that I picked were too close together, and so I changed the hair to be a darker brown. And then my last, whoops. My last whip is my Gathering Honey. This is my sow, which is the Be Your Own Valentine sow, or Be My Own Valentine sow. And this is a blue flower pattern. I am just loving working on this so much. I've told you guys I'm doing it on 22 count Hardanger with 1 thread, and I just love it. So that is how far I've gotten. So this whole section, the flowers and the bees and the grasses, is completed. I started on the bee scape. Is that what they're called? Scapes? Beehive. I did some more words. I'm really excited to get into the little lady, and I'm gonna make her hair purple. I told you guys that. But there, that looks a little bit better. Sorry, the lighting today. I am just enjoying working on this project so much. Just so much. I can't even, it just gives me such pleasure when I start pulling this out and working on it. So that is my whips for these past 2 weeks. I didn't get as much done as I have in the past as far as, you know, when I work hard, but you know, like I said, I had so many days these last 2 weeks that I didn't stitch at all because I was just lying there. Like, and that is very, very, very unusual for me. I mean, I usually stitch every evening, but you know, I didn't stitch at all on Valentine's Day because I wasn't home. And then Saturday, I did all the stuff with the TV, and I think maybe I did a little bit that evening, but I was getting sick. I wasn't feeling great. Didn't do anything Sunday. I barely woke up. Didn't do anything Monday. And then last night, well, actually I did stitch yesterday, even though I wasn't home because I brought my project with me, but I had so many days that I didn't stitch, which is just kind of unusual for me. So that's all my whips for this past couple weeks. I have been, as I said, continuing to work on my resin pieces that I do plan on selling in my Etsy shop. So let me show you a couple things. Now this is one of, I would call my failure coasters. My idea was to like make colored resin pieces that I could then embed in other resin pieces. And so I tried that with this, and you can kind of see the flower and the butterfly and stuff in there, but it really didn't work. I mean, it's pretty, it's blue, it's sparkly, it's pretty. So I will keep it, or I'll give it to a friend who doesn't care, but it's not a piece that would be sold. So that would be a failure. But I don't know if I showed you this one. This is one of the first ones I did. So this is one of my plain coasters, Ort coasters. This is before I kind of started putting color behind it or quite as much glitter and stuff. So this one is probably one of the more simple ones that I would do, but I still think that one looks really nice. I have showed you this one before. This is, I don't know, to me this looks like circusy. I wonder if I should be holding. Okay, so that's that coaster. That one I think will be in the shop eventually. This one, now I feel like with the coasters I was kind of getting into a groove. So this one came out really well. It has a slight green tinge to it. This is one of my button coasters. That one I think came out really well. Now this red one I've showed you before, and I'm in the process of trying to fix it. So it's another button coaster. It had, because I had to like kind of do it twice because it was completely uneven. And when I redid it or added resin to it, it got kind of like a rough place on the top. So I tried top coating it, and I did pretty good, except there's still one little place right here that is still not smooth. So I'm going to have to top coat it again. But I still think that that one is really pretty too. And when that one is completed, it should be in the shop. And then this one isn't done. So this is the back of it, but it still needs another coat or another layer. And then here is an Ort coaster. Again, I'm learning. I'm putting a little bit more stuff in them so you still get the really cool Ort thing, but there's a little bit more visual interest. And the thing with the coasters too, which is slightly different than with the needle minders, is because they're going to be on a flat surface. So having it perfectly clear isn't really an advantage because all you're doing is you're going to see your table. So having a little bit more glitter, a little bit of color to it, I think is nice. So that is a green one. And let's see, these are not ready. I've also kind of started experimenting with the, so this is 4 needle minders still in their molds. I did an orange set this time. I'm not like a very good Vanna White here, but yeah, I'm anxious to when I can get the pictures taken for these and you guys can really see them, you know, kind of up close in the shop, because they are very, very, very pretty. And I'm hoping that you guys love them and want a bunch. Let's see. I think that's all I have really to show you. But the other thing that I actually want to show you, this is part of, like, I guess, haul or whatever. So when I do my resin stuff, you know, you mix up the resin. It's like sticky, it's messy, whatever. And then you have to leave it alone for at least 24 hours. And again, I live in a tiny apartment. Where am I going to put it? And I was like kind of leaving stuff on my work desk here, which is not good because then I can't do other stuff. And the other thing is it's not quite level. So I was getting coasters that were not level, which is why I've had to like add resin stuff to them. So I was looking for something that I could actually do the work in, and then, you know, you have to cover stuff because if any dust or cat hairs or whatever gets on it, it's going to stick to it. So I was trying to cover them like with a sheet of plastic, actually like a garbage bag, which works great, except if it dips and then touches the resin, then that messes up that piece. So I went to Marshall's, and I was just looking, you know, on the sale items, sale racks, just to see, and I found this box, which is so perfect. Now it says Merry Christmas on it. I don't care. I got this box for $1, and it's perfect because I just lined the bottom with a silicone mat. So anything that drips, I can just pull off. And then when I mix up my resin and I fill all my molds, I'll try and like tip it up a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So kind of, I have my molds in there. And so, you know, I did my batch, let's call it that, a batch. And then I could just put the lid on and I set it over in my bathroom, actually on the counter, and left it alone for a day. So it was there, not disturbed, and it stayed clean, and I got that box for $1. So that's great. The other thing that I got at Marshall's, because it's a frame, this part is broken, right? But I don't really care about that because I can either hang this, you know, on the wall, or I can use a stand. But I got this frame for 70 cents, you guys. I never get deals like that. That's why I'm so excited about it. I mean, the frame itself is not even scratched. I'm thinking this is the right size for my Gathering Honey. I don't know if the light blue is going to look good with the bright yellow. I have to decide, but this frame for 70 cents. I was just, I was so excited with that deal. I mean, I know it's broken in the back, but it doesn't matter. Okay. Then, other haul pieces. As you know, I'm trying really hard not to spend too much. I'm not great at it. Occasionally, I give in. I did make a purchase this past week. I was weak. And I did make an eBay purchase of 4 charts, but they all go together. And I don't have them yet, so when I get them, I'll show you. But I'm trying. I'm trying to be good. I had told you guys that the two things that I still have not done, would like to try, is stitching on black. And so to that end, I got an eBay purchase for a couple dollars. I think it was $5 or $6. I got 2 pieces of fabric. This will go in my regular stash, probably to be dyed. This is just an 18 count aida. It's a nice aida. I'm getting to where I really like the 18 and 20 and 22 counts and stuff. But I did get a piece of 14 count black. And to stitch on it, I got a Satsuma Straight Leo, which is me. I'm thinking I might start this on my birthday. That's what I did last year too. I had a birthday sal that I did for the entire month of August, and then actually on my birthday I started something that was my birthday start, and which was the Lion of Judah last year, because it was a lion and it was my birthday. So I think I'm going to continue that tradition and do this lion on my birthday this year, and I have the black fabric to do it on. So I'm excited about that. And then the other pattern that I got, which I told you about, I got this on sale. One of the Cottage Garden Songbirds. And I really like this one. I like the cone flowers a lot. And so this is one of my favorites anyway, and it was on sale. So I got that one. And then, last but definitely not least, my friend Tracy, who I have talked to you guys about her numerous times. She's in Pittsburgh. She moved there last year, probably around this time last year. I don't know if she's been there quite a year yet, but she's been a huge supporter of everything that I do for forever. You know, she's one of those people, I mean, we met in high school, and we were best friends in high school. We fought a lot, but we were best friends, and, you know, just, we had the whole teenage angst all the time. But, and we lost touch for years, you know, when our lives moved on. And actually, she was going through some old stuff, like, about a year ago, and she found, like, letters that I had written to her when we were in college. And she sent me, like, a copy of one of the ones I sent her. And I was reading this thing, and it's like, you know, I mean, I recognized me, but I didn't it was really kind of weird. But anyway, so she's just one of those people that, like, when we lose touch and then we get back together. Of course, haven't lost touch now in probably a good 20 years. So, but anyway, she sent me a postcard from Pittsburgh, and she went to, what is it called, the CCR or PCCR, Pittsburgh Center for Creative Reuse. So it's kind of like a thrift store, I guess. So she likes going there. It's like actually a 5-minute walk from her. So she goes there to just blow off some steam and look for stuff to decorate her house and whatever. She says that on Sundays when I upload videos, she'll watch my video, and either she'll like fold laundry or whatever while she's watching my video, or she'll use it as an opportunity to do a little bit of crafty stuff herself. So that's how she did some wreaths at the holiday time, and she was making some stuff. So I am her crafty inspiration, which makes me feel kind of good. But anyway, so she just got me a few little things. She got me some white floss, kind of assorted, because I talked to her that I wanted to maybe try dyeing some floss, just to see, you know, how that would work, because I've dyed fabric and I enjoyed that. So she got me some floss. I've got, there's some, I don't even know what this is. It is DMC, but it's like more of a thread. I'm not sure what this is. I'm gonna have to do some research. It says DMC 16. I don't know if you guys, do you know what that is? And then there is some pearl cotton, and then there's also a regular 6-strand. So, I mean, I know what the pearl cotton and the 6-strand are, but I don't know what this is. I mean, it's kind of a nice texture and stuff. I'm not sure what you use it for. If you just would use this for cross stitch, like on a 22 count or something, and just use a single strand. So I'm gonna have to figure out what that is. But she got me these skeins to try dyeing. And then she got me assorted tchotchke things that could go in needle minders or other resin pieces and whatever, or for trims. So that's really exciting. And then she was talking to me. She said she was going to go back there, and she said she got me buttons so I can put them in my button coasters and needle minders. I guess they have bins of all different colors, and it's like a fill a bag for $1 or fill a bag for whatever. So she was going through, and she's like, you know, what do you want? I'm like, just fill the bag, you know, it doesn't matter. But she was having fun going through and picking out cool looking buttons and stuff for me. So there's a few buttons in here too that are gonna be able to go in. So yeah, so she got me like a bag of fun stuff from Tracy. So anyway, I have rambled at you guys for about 45 minutes now. And I hope that you enjoy me rambling. But yeah, I'm feeling much better, and hopefully, well, after the whole tearing my apartment apart, putting my apartment back together, hopefully my life will start getting a little bit more orderly again. I need to get a day where I have good lighting in here to try and start taking pictures for Etsy, and then I will start uploading stuff and hopefully get the shop open. I think the way I'm going to do it is, after looking at different shops, I think things are going to be listed individually. So when they sell, they sell. So you're looking at the piece that you're going to get, and that's the one that I would sell to you. That way, if I do run out of inventory, you know, I can upload it as I create them. And I think that that's going to work for a while. We'll see. I'm looking forward to doing it. It's another adventure, and you know, I'll just have to see what happens as it happens. But anyway, I'm really glad to have been able to spend this time with you guys. I'm glad I'm feeling better, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to continuing to stitch this week. I'm gonna take it easy today. Let myself kind of really recover. I'm not going to start tearing stuff out of my apartment quite yet. I did actually get a couple of plastic bins, so it can be a little bit more organized than it was last time because I have a little bit more time. And I figured that once I get done with that, I have those bins for my crafting and stuff, and I can organize my supplies using those. And if I don't have room to store them, I can always put them in my car, right? So I still have 3 projects that my mom completed that I have promised to sew into pillows, etc. for her. I don't know if I'm going to be able to attempt that today, but maybe I can get that started. And I still have project bags to sew. They're cut. I also want to try and make an envelope project bag using snaps, because I love doing the snaps, and I like making those little pouches that I've made with the snaps, and I was thinking, well, why can't I make a big project bag with them? So that's in the future too. Starting on the 29th, which is next Saturday, so it'll be before our next video, it's Leap Day. I'm going to be starting that Tiny Mermaid that I showed you on linen, so it'll be my first attempt to stitch on linen next weekend. And I'm also going to be working on Froth and Bubble, which is my long dog sampler that is currently in progress. But I'm gonna, you know, jump in on Erin Two Martini Stitcher's Long Dog Leap Day Sal, because she did say that you didn't have to start a new one. And since I have one in progress, then I will go ahead and participate in that to join in on the fun. If you guys are looking for a Sal coming up in April, I'm going to be doing Clementine with, I messed this up last time too. It's Forest City Stitching, or Forest City Stitchery. She's in Canada, and April is her birthday. She's going to be doing Clementine with me, and we're just calling it Clem Sal. So that will be in April. So March, I'm going to be working on the projects that I have going and trying to get some stuff completed. Maybe maybe suffragettes, maybe gathering honey. So yeah, I definitely want to get some stuff out of the whip list so that I do not feel stressed about possibly starting new things. So anyway, that's my plans for the week. I hope you guys have a great stitchy week. Enjoy the last week of February and head into March. You know, if you guys are you guys St. Patrick's people, March is going to be a little bit weird for me. It is the day after St. Patrick's Day is my non-anniversary. So the last couple years it's been fine though. So I don't anticipate too much stress with that day, but I do, you know, think about it. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great week. And in the meantime, remember to always be content, be kind, and be crafty. This is Karla. Have a great week, you guys.